next, we have our co-main event here. We have Zach Shiomos. He's going to be out of Hellfish BJJ. You can see Tim Carpenter in his corner there. That's going to be the owner and head instructor. And then we have Dave Romano, a brown belt out of JM Holland's camp, and that's going to be 10th Planet Nazareth. We have Dave rocking the ARENA Grappling blue team fit, which he got last ARENA Grappling. A couple of fun facts about Dave as the guys get started here. And let's see, Zach will go to pool guard immediately. Stylistically, this is going to be a pretty exciting matchup. One, because Dave is very gritty, pressure forward, and you can kind of see that in this match right here. But Zach is able to throw submissions from all different angles, has a great guard, known for his darces. So I'm really curious to see what this match is going to bring. Dave recently promoted to brown belt, which was actually really interesting because he was actually a white belt. But after, beating people up for a long time, JM decided he was just going to give him his brown belt after those 8 years that he's been actually training. Zach on the bottom here, he'll sit back to supine guard again. And he was recently promoted to black belt under Tim alongside of his brother Luke, who soon we'll be seeing in the main event. Both guys have been on the local scene for quite a while here. I know that Zach actually just recently won with his team at HCS, which was a team of 5, and his brother was actually included in that. Awesome attempt at trying to step over to mount. Pretty quick jump by Dave, but he won't quite land it, and we're going to be back in that same spot with Dave trying to pass Zach's guard on the bottom here. Dave possibly looking for maybe like a leg weave or an over-under with his right knee, but Zach's doing a really good job of keeping his left knee nice and high and his frames nice and tight. Dave looking to kind of like maybe potentially flank, and again, he'll go right back down to both knees here, trying to pressure forward. Zach with his left hand on a collar tie, but Dave looks like he's recognizing it, yep, and he'll pull it right back down. So we're going to keep seeing this battle of inches here, especially among high-level competitors, where it's just finding small holes, small gaps in the game that are going to get you a step further. And that's what you're seeing here. You're seeing battling for head control, battling for arm positioning. Zach with that 2-on-1 grip, and he'll look to weave his left leg inside, and we'll find ourselves back in that initial position with that left knee shield here. Zach really doing a good job of keeping his frames, especially with that left arm. That 2-on-1 grip is something that I recently recognized is so strong comparatively. So he's been going back and forth between the 2-on-1, the collar tie, which we're seeing right now, and then the left arm frame in front of his neck. Dave really heavily pressuring in to Zach's right side, looking to pass. Dave using his head, kind of pressuring forward, keeping his left hand on Zach's neck. But again, Zach will recognize too that he doesn't want his hand there. So a little bit of K-guard action from Zach. And Dave looking to open up a little bit more, create some distance, possibly go side to side and flank with his hands on Zach's legs.
I had this as my pick of the night for what I thought was going to be match of the night, or at least the one I was most interested in. When we were just running down the card. So, this is a fire matchup.
This is a great matchup, especially Dave Romano being a pro MMA fighter. Zach Shiomos, he has had four MMA fights himself. I don't even know if people know that. When he lived in Japan for 4 years.
No,
he got his purple belt over there.
I was unaware that he had an MMA
some pretty
background.
cool stuff. And he's actually coming off a few recent wins, one of them being a team duel for HCS Grappling, which is another promotion. So they both are very well respected. I know Zach's goal, he said, was he wants to beat up young guys well into his 30s. So he looks like he's doing a pretty good job for the most part.
Yeah, he seems like he's doing a real good job. I was so excited for him when he got his black belt, and that's mostly because I had gotten beat by him like 2 weeks before.
It gives you a reason to lose,
Exactly. I was like, oh, well, he was just about to get his black belt, so.
And now we're seeing Zach on the top and Dave actually on the bottom, and he'll be in almost a closed guard. I think he just locked his legs up, looking for that 2-on-1 control, which is becoming very popular recently.
Yeah, and this is a position that I didn't think we'd see this early. I didn't think we'd see Zach on top in a closed guard here, and David kind of working this. But this is going to be really interesting.
Seriously, me neither. So this is definitely a change of plan here.
So what we've got here is we've got David is trying to keep the posture broken, right? Zach's doing a really good job of keeping his hands on the biceps, keeping his head away and out of danger. But Zach isn't overly pushing the pace, trying to frantically and spastically break the guard open, right? He's taking time. He's being patient because he understands that this can be a really long match here. And Zach tends to be someone who builds as he goes, and he builds towards a peak. And he becomes increasingly dangerous over time.
Fun fact about Dave, he's participated in every single arena event that we have so far, and that's the end of round one. Pretty back and forth, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, that was, I wouldn't say there was any major exchanges, and that's the thing, right? As we get into the higher belts, a lot of the small detail things, all it takes is one super minute detail, minute mistake to really end the round and lock up a sub. So you're going to see a lot less movement and a lot less explosion typically in these positions, especially in the early rounds. But don't get me wrong, that was a very back and forth round.
It was awesome. Here we are going into round two. As I was saying about Dave, he has participated in every single arena event to date, all four.
Oh, yeah, that's a good fact.
He is what I consider an arena grappling veteran.
He knows the environment, that's for sure.
He is the most arena grappling veteran that there is, actually.
Just like they're starting out last round, they're going to find themselves Zach on the bottom,
Zach
Dave on the top. He went for it.
Zach was looking for that little short shoulder lock from when your opponent's underhook gets locked underneath.
Is it the mirror lock?
I think, yeah, exactly. But hitting it from a Z guard. Dave
nice
working
leg
to step
pummel
his
by
pass.
Dave.
Looks
to come out for that arm.
Zach's coming up on top.
Does he have security?
Oh.
Wow, we got a verbal tap from Zach.
Wow.
46 seconds into round number 2.
All right.
That was very nice. Went all the way around, north-south, took the far side arm. Very quick. Yeah,
he was so quick with that. He utilized the space as he walked around and created, and then immediately dove in and was able to beat Zach, because Zach was trying to re-guard on that side, and he was able to beat his hips there and just keep a hold of that arm, and that was tight. We're going to see. So now Zach is going to need to get a submission in this round if he wants to bring this into overtime. David is going to win this with either... he's going to win this with either a draw with no submission in this round or with obviously a second submission of his own.
The pressure's definitely on for Zach here, and I think he recognizes it because it almost looks like he's coming in with a different look on his actual face.
He looks, yeah. We had started off by saying he's a slower starter. He builds to a peak. He gets more dangerous as the rounds go on, and you can see that he just flipped a switch in him and he turned it on.
Nice throw by, and he's going to go right to the back. Is Dave Romano.
Right to the back.
Also here for the finish.
He's high, and Zach's going to try and work his backs back. Oh,
looks
now
like
Zach is looking in for a leg.
Go for the
Zach
leg
is looking
here.
Zach is looking to come around and pull that. Dave's trying to keep his toes around.
Close, yeah.
Zach is able to get a knee bar pressure. Oh, he's able to get knee bar pressure here.
And he's going to get out. It definitely got tight there for a moment here.
Yeah, but he still has a 50-50 grip here. He might be able to get a heel hook if he can get some exposure. He's still got the knee line in. Zach has really long limbs here, and Zach can actually threaten different arm attacks as well as threatening leg attacks. Like he could potentially even go for a go-go plata. He could go for that mirror lock, and he's got that 50-50 heel exposure that he could always be looking for as well. It's a very dangerous position, but Zach needs to flatten out. Yeah, there we go. So
Dave will be out.
Clears out, and that was a really good counter though by Zach, because David put him immediately right on the ropes.
Absolutely, I think that knee bar was pretty tight too.
Yeah, we saw a really tight reaction out of David.
I caught a glimpse of Zach's face while he had that leg lock, and I got goosebumps. He looked so scary, so mean. He was really going for that, but he's super crafty. But Dave is also just super tough.
Yeah, and those knee bars can be tough to finish there because of the fact that it's an inch. He was, the deeper that knee is, the more space they have to clear. And that one, the knee was right on the hip press. Yeah. So it was like all David needed to do was get an inch, and he knew that, and he was fighting with everything he had to get that inch.
Zach looking to get his hips higher here. He is in the closed guard, looking to break down the posture of Dave Romano, but Dave doing very well, keeping a good base. He is no stranger to having a great base.
So this is where now, if you're Zach, you're looking, saying, okay, that leg attack was close. Maybe I need to stick with something along that line. And he's looking to pull him in, right? He's going to use that foot.
Far side leg.
Yeah, but David's doing a good job at creating that space.
But Zach's knee shield, it looks like it's given him a really big problem. Even he's trying to smash it down to pass, but it's just he's framing really well on that knee shield.
Yeah, and it looks like Zach's looking to pull that knee in with it, which he almost likes the fact that David's crushing down that knee shield because that gives him the ability to invert towards it. And now we only have about 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in this match, unless there's a submission that happens.
You think Zach's looking at another leg entanglement?
It looks like he's still trying to enter in on that far leg. He'll invert through, but he just misses coming into that leg here.
Triangle here. He's going to try to go for that armbar.
He does a good job of connecting the arms and legs, but Dave is just doing a better job, unfortunately, of stuffing his legs. So he's and controlling the hips. He's having a hard time, Zach is, of inverting.
But Zach, he's doing a really good job of going lower body, upper body, back and forth. Like I saw a armbar entry off of a failed leg entry. So it's just crafty stuff from Zach. But then again, you got Dave, who's just amazing pressure in there. It's great.
We're closing in, too, on about 1 minute and 20 seconds. So yeah. I think Zach realizes he's going to have to go for it. See Dave kind of also realizing that, backing up a little bit. You know, the pressure isn't on him to finish. Zach will invert, try the triangle, and he'll just miss.
Yeah, that was a good inversion attempt, and
beautiful.
Zach is throwing everything he's got. He's he's switching up his attacks. He's keeping, similar positioning because he knows that this Z guard forces Dave to keep engaged. Whereas if he's letting him play from an outside open guard, it can be tough. But he only has 50 seconds here to get something, and he has to finish it. And David is notoriously tough to finish.
Especially with all that pressure he's putting on Zach, like literal pressure passing. I think it's going to be hard for Zach to go underneath him despite trying to make that space. Dave's doing a good job of staying low. Zach looking again to come up with those hips and those legs. But we're going to come down to the last 30 seconds here to see if we can get a submission out of Zach Shiomos tonight.
Oh, Zach looking like he's getting that Kimura trap. And David does a good job of clearing. And
good guard retention from Zach, and we're going to be back to seated guard for Zach Shiomos.
We've only got about 10 seconds left in this match.
Super short time.
Zach is going to need to pull something out.
Dave going to almost step to mount. Couple seconds here, and time.
And there's our time.
That's going to be a win from Dave off a second round
armbar.
Armbar.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Armbar off of the pass.
Great match from both guys. Two absolute killers. Yeah, very fun to watch.
Good match. A lot of back and forth.
That was an excellent match.
Very nice. Dave Romano continues to impress here.
Yep.
We'll get to talk to him in about a moment. So
been highly successful under the ARENA banner.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a good format for him. He's a pro MMA fighter. He knows the cage. He obviously knows this specific cage well now that he's been here. So let's hear what he has to say.
Congratulations. That was a beautiful performance out there. Why don't you tell us a little bit of your thoughts on the match and just how everything went?
I hated it. I could have done way better. I could have opened up more, could have taken more risks. He's tough. It's really tough, really hard guard to pass. I hated it. I hated my performance. I took the win, but I could have done more.
What were some things that you were working on leading up to this match?
I thought he was going to try to play legs a lot. So, I was doing a lot of leg defense, getting my legs out of bad positions. I didn't expect him to have that Z guard, really strong Z guard. I'm usually really good at passing that. So it definitely threw my game off a little bit. But what I did get was off the pass from the Z guard. So awesome. I guess I'm happy with the submission, but I feel like I could have done better overall.
So, Dave, so you've competed for every ARENA grappling event to date, which is a really cool statistic. So are you planning on coming back for the February card as well? Keep the streak going?
You know what? I always I'll be here.
Awesome. Love that.
I always say I'm going to be here, and then I get busy, and then I'm like, but I want to go, so I'll be here, yeah. That's
you and your brother are killing it. So a lot of new changes for you. Did you recently get promoted and you have a new gym?
Yeah, so, I've been training jiu-jitsu since I was 16 years old, on and off, wrestling. And the old gym I was training at in Florida was like really traditional gi, and I'm an MMA fighter, so I was never at gi class. I never got promoted. And then I started training with JM. I've been training with him for almost 2 years now, and he finally just gave me my brown belt. He was like, "Hey, I'm sick of guys coming in and getting their ass beat by a white belt, so here's your brown."
You went from white belt right to brown belt?
Yeah,
That's a rare case. That's
10
awesome.
years in between, but yeah.
That's awesome. That is a cool fact. I think that's probably one of my favorite facts for tonight here.
You deserve it. Well deserved with that performance.
Thank
It
you
was
guys.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I know you said you weren't happy with it, but at the end of the day, you did what you needed to do. You got a beautiful submission, and at the end of the day, too, as you compete in those higher levels, right?
Yeah.
There's less opportunities, and you did
Absolutely, he was really well defensively. I was impressed. Yeah.
You impressed us too. So
Thank you guys.
Well, we love having you here. Anyone to shout out tonight?
Yeah, JM, my brother, Archetype, Crucial Colors. Those are my guys. You know, I ride with them. So, J-Dog. Yeah, all those guys. Great dudes.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
See you next month.
yeah,
See you next month.
love it.